What I have learned in this 6 weeks of public engineering content. 3 real things I have learned that I wasn't expecting. One of them moved 200 followers within 48 hours. One of them brought a returning client back to my DM. One broke a perception that I had about my content. Here is my honest take. 6 weeks ago, I committed publicly to do VPS series with 6 episodes, 1 episode per week. SSH keys, 2 firewalls, fail to ban, automatic updates, monitoring and alerts, and also putting Cloudflare on top of it all. Every configuration on GitHub, 0 sponsorship, 0 video editors. The series is now closed. Cybersecurity professionals were reposting the content that I was publishing. The lesson is that there were real audience that were pushing what I was creating. And with that, I realized that real trust outperforms doing something random, hoping that the algorithm will push the content that you are creating. I sent warm DMs and within minutes, some were already responding. These experiences reminded me of things that I have always wanted to do. It's really a good signal for me to not think so much about certain things and just move forward with executing them. A system admin intern told me he was working on the same project. And within that same period, someone sent me a DM that the fail to ban is actually working for him. And that is really exciting because the series was not built for everybody. No, it was built for people that needs it. Somebody somewhere who just need one of the simplest ways to harden a very not so enterprise grade VPS. And so when this happens, it's really, really fulfilling. That doesn't mean that there were no pushbacks. There were pushbacks. Amidst the series, someone mentioned that fail to ban cannot prevent DOS attacks. And then another person mentioned IP allow listing on firewall. Also true. But the thing is, some of these things do not work for small businesses or individuals that travel and end up having dynamic IP. So some pushbacks were actually patronizing. I learned how to filter technical things, real technical things, whether positive or negative, would get a reply, and the condescending ones, no reply. I also made a post about VPS using a carousel explaining what VPS is. Thoughtful design, real engineering value, but it had 93 views. The reels equivalent of that pulled 1,000. You know what I learned? Instagram 2026 is pushing reels. That's platform reality. Something could work for someone in another way and may not work for you in the same way. I built a GitHub repo halfway through the series between week 4 or week 5. It really started as a place to just dump the config. But then by week 6, it was already something that people would be able to click through. Long after a video stops getting views, this repo is still compounded. Ended up being super useful. So if you are creating technical content and you don't have a GitHub repo yet, I would suggest that you have a GitHub repo just to dump the prompts and the configurations that you are using. YouTube analytics showed that 71% swiped away from the YouTube short. I learned that that is not content problem, but it's rather hook problem. So by week 6, I was already applying some of the things that I have learned to make the hooks better. I waited until I had a material to put it. That was a wrong call. A repo grows because people find videos 6 months from now. They are able to click through. Every video without this link in the description is actually then leaving compounding value on the table. 3 different commenters criticized the series for not covering enterprise grade controls, CIS benchmarks, IPS, DIS, SSH certificates, isolated Docker networks. All these are definitely real things, but none of them is in scope for small businesses with just one VPS. If I would say, the series was definitely meant for small businesses running one VPS. And I learned that audience filter is also really a thing. The VPS series closes something, the next one opens another window. This channel is still going to be about servers, software engineering, cloud computing, cybersecurity, the kind of architecture level that software engineers need to know, businesses need to know, without burning cash on giving everything out. And that's the lot direction. Of course, there would be AI. The next thing we'll be working on, just as mentioned, is automatic monitoring with Claude and Remotion. There will also be some videos, AWS Associate Exam Prep, and then you may see something about an iOS app I am working on. All of it is going to be in public. All of it is going to be shipped the way it is. A raw, it will just be shipped. Know this. That's the part of building public that actually compounds. See you.